What is up? Hello? I cannot hear you if you're talking.
Find my. Oh, there you go. My mic's on. Okay, doing it live. Mic was off.
I bought some quant this morning. I do have to. Oh, never mind. I go to work at 1 o'clock today, so I got time.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go over some of the basics there, Cody. Um, so welcome in. Is like I said, I was saying with the mic off. It's been a busy, weird December. Market's been weird. Everything's been weird. Also, my business kind of has doubled in volume over the last couple of days. Like everything, like it just like kicked up into another gear. So it's been busy. So I apologize, guys. Hopefully, I can get these videos out to you on a more regular basis. But we're glad that we got the viewers in. As you guys know, we're not live on TikTok anymore. My account got banned, permanently banned. So we'll have to build it back up. So like and follow us on Simply Investing 60. That's my new handle. Also, I know Crypto Dreams not in here just yet, but one of our great supporters, if he could give him a like and a follow, subscribe to his channel, really would help him out, help him to 500 subscribers. And this video is as always sponsored by you guys, so hitting that like button. So more on starting off with the day, we're kind of tipping down on the greed cycle, going back down to getting back to the regular greed in the green area, 77 greed. We're at 1.59 trillion in market cap. We're at down 1%. Bitcoin dominance at 51%. Ethereum dropped below 17% a little bit, 16.9% dominance. We kind of have everybody taking like a 5% drop. We have Ethereum and Bitcoin about the same. We got XRP taking a 6.5, almost 7% drop for the week. But then we got Solana up 2%. And we got Cardano up 11%, and we got Avalanche up 42%. We have Polkadot up 5% on the week. Chainlink down 11% on the week. We got, of course, Atom is at 5.8%, up to $11 on the week. And we have Internet ICP up 14% on the day, up 38% on the week. almost doubling their value there. So it's been on a tear up over there. It's kind of something if you've been following the TikTok I posted about, but even still, if you look past the 1 month, we went from down here in the low fours all the way up. It's almost getting to that point, but the trading volume has increased by quite a bit. Market cap's increasing, and of course, you got their followers and people are paying attention to it. It's up 60% on the month there. So it's just pretty interesting. They launched a free, a no gas fee marketplace platform to buy, sell, and trade. So we'll have to see how that.
For like Ethereum and stuff?
Yes, for Ethereum and Bitcoin. And NFTs and information, stuff like that. So that apparently just launched.
I might be wrong on ICP, man.
Yeah, it was hard to pin it down in the beginning, but like I did a video on it about 4 months ago, and it never seemed to have. It didn't seem to have like. It seemed like it was kind of stagnant to me, but I guess some of their projects finally starting to get launched, things starting to move forward for it. So. So we'll have to see. But if you've been holding ICP, this is definitely a good time for you. Maybe cash out the profits or minimize the losses. You can hold long term. But a few months ago probably was the best time to get in. Let me double check this here. Let me turn down your mic there, Cody. Seems like you're getting a little bit of feedback.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries. So let me just go back for the year. And yeah, we were under $4. I think there was a period. Yeah, I remember there was a period where it was in the $2 range, like low threes, high twos for this year. So yeah, if you got in September, you definitely made a play. I probably would recommend cashing out some profits. Another great news here, I want to kind of talk about. We still got to talk about Polkadot keeps chugging along. Really, I mean, looking at it for the month here. Let me just pull this back up here. Yeah, look at the month here. It's still, even though it's been kind of shaky in that $7 range, we've been going below and then kind of bouncing back and then going. It looks like we're gonna go back down after because we formed a nice W pattern there, but it looks like it's gonna go back down probably to right around here, like 690, 680 range, and then we're gonna go back up again. Maybe this time it might break $8. If it like Cody has thought if it breaks $8, Polkadot will probably go to 10. But we still got a couple weeks left before the holidays are over. We still got a lot of euphoria in the marketplace. People are still spending, even though they're spending money they don't have. As a firm and the other guy that does the like their fancy layaway programs, they they're reporting record applications and signups for their services. So I think that's going to push us through to probably first week of January, and that's when we will see a correction. I'm kind of hoping of like a 20% correction. So
I'm hoping crypto corrects too because I'm still buying for the next year. I mean, a lot of people think that the bull run is going to start in 2024. I'm seeing it everywhere.
yeah, we're going to have a very stagnant economy. I'm even noticing with my logistics company, like the shipping lanes for food, they can't get enough drivers to get the food out to where it needs to be. So grocery stores, a lot of like even dollar stores, Walmart's, they're slowly depleting the food. Like I've never seen like orange barrels for a long time be empty. Usually I saw that when I was growing up where it was seasonal and regional supplies. So oranges and lemons kind of are hardy fruits, so they kind of can last a little longer, so they can be shipped from everywhere. But for the most part, like you didn't get oranges unless the oranges were in season. You didn't get lemons, strawberries, or anything unless if it was in season, or like blueberries, raspberries, or anything like that, and bananas too, and pineapples. So now I'm now looking at it as we're going in. One, you also got to give credit to the companies. They are managing their inventory a lot better because managing their inventory is going to decrease shrink. But I'm seeing more and more like fresh fruits and vegetables are depleting fast. So like if you don't get there in the morning, by the time if you grocery shop in the evening, you're most likely going to see empty bins of fruit and stuff because they're only getting just enough to carry through a day or two, which is crazy. So with that with that imminent collapse in the shipping market in the food market, food shipping industry part, there we're going to see the economy stagnate because if we can't truck the goods, the economy is going to stagnate, and then of course demand for things is going to outweigh supply again, and then we're going to see a rapid increase in prices and inflation again. And of course, I know the CPI data came in at like 3.1%, signifying that inflation is going down, which it is going down, but we still got to be careful because there's a few factors that could inevitably spike up inflation, which is kind of interesting. Like Cody and I don't really play politics, but it's kind of interesting how we're down here at this level again. We're back here to the election again, and all of a sudden, like the war in Ukraine is like dying down. Like all these conflicts are starting to look like they're going to come to an end next year, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's like it's trying to push like, hey, look what Biden did. But it's like you guys kind of caused all of it too. So it's really interesting to see how that's going to affect.
Yeah, for one, I just feel like they cause problems, or they talk about problems, and then when it dies down, they see it as hooray, like look what I did. And then the second thing I want to touch on is that regardless of what the economy does, I mean, yeah, risk assets and stocks and all that, they do kind of correlate to the economy. They do, but it's like I just feel like this whole market, it's gonna do its thing regardless. I just think that everything is noise. Like that's how my mindset has been for the past 2 years, and I've literally been accumulating for the past 2-3 years. Like it's crazy. I just
Yeah,
think of everything as noise.
yeah, and it's crazy because everybody is man, that's a big ad. um Everybody thinks like we're in the bull run, things are coming back. That's the euphoria playing in. You're seeing it real time with all these investors. Oops, sorry, I was just gonna go for a little bit there. You see this for a second. Hold on, guys. I gotta take that one.
Speaking of which, we have Bitcoin at like 41.8. Things are dropping really nice. I'm looking for a nice correction. Like I'm really excited to buy a lot more.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to take a business call there
Oh, you're good.
for people. So do deeply apologize for that. Um, you know how it is. I'm in my office, and sometimes, even though it's quiet when I'm in here, it's sometimes a few calls still come through, still come in. Well, it goes to show we don't have a lot of problems either. So, all right, but kind of more on the market news because like we're talking about, a lot of it's just fluff, but you're seeing the real time euphoria going on with a lot of these influencers. I mean, like I just saw my I just checked my the Twitter account or X or whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays. I'm looking at all the influencers I follow, and they're all like, "What are you gonna buy if Ethereum hits 10,000? What are you gonna buy if Bitcoin hits 100,000?" Like what? It's like this is just a relief rally. This isn't anything special. This is actually pretty typical of a bear market where people just finally want to say, forget the past, forget the anguish, forget the problems. I just want to feel good, so I'm going to go do stuff anyway. And what happens is people start buying more, people start getting the things they wanted, even if it's small stuff. All the average person has a tremendous amount of spending power. I know there's a lot of talk the wealthiest people in America have like a huge like 60-70% of the money, but it really doesn't really add up to that because like let's just take the African American community outputs like $2.2 trillion a year in in money going to services. That's money coming in and money going out. It's like, so you add it all together, the average middle class and down has close to about $15 trillion that they're circulating around. So it's not there when all those people decide that, hey, we're done with doom and gloom. It's the holiday season. We want to feel good. Markets respond positively, and of course, we're also having yesterday was one of the or a couple days ago was one of the best days in the stock market too. And what we're seeing here is just euphoria running a wreck. And of course, when the new year hits, it's going to start tumbling backwards. So you guys just got to be a little careful with that, a little be forewarned, because these prices will go down. They will go down when we get into the beginning of the new year, because now people got to start paying for the stuff they bought. Now people got to start paying for financing the holiday, getting the things that they wanted. So now they're going to really cut back until the tax season, and then kind of pay off the debts, and then we won't really see a return to a good economy, a good true bull market until about, I'm now saying like early 2025 to mid 2025. I'm not saying late 2025 anymore, because it's looking like mid 2025. Because like I said, even on my businesses, we were down between 10 and 20% in sales revenue every single month since July of 2022 until this month. It's looking like we're going to have a 100% increase again. So it's looking like the economy's kind of leveling out, and we might have finally hit the bottoming out with the help of a relief rally there for you guys. Ooh, couldn't even speak there. But it's like when I pull up let's pull up Porch Moving Group. That's one of the stocks I'm holding for long term, and I'm up tremendously on that in the last, just even in the last year. Because like I got in pretty much from April to September, and then like right around August to September and October, I've been buying heavily, and I've only recently stopped once it hit around $1. I stopped getting in on there, but that goes to show you, because Porch Moving Group is basically one of the largest moving brokers. They just broker out moves to moving companies, and if their business is skyrocketing, then the odds are that there's a huge odds that the economy is doing a little bit better, because they have corporate contracts, they have regular consumer portals that generate their revenue and generate clients. So if they're doing well, it's a pretty good sign that the economy's starting to
I do.
turn around a little bit.
I do want to ask you,
I don't know,
if
Cody,
we
are you
do
trying to
see,
say something there?
can you hear me? Can
Oh,
you hear me?
oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I know that we could see a correction, but if so, when do you think a correction will happen? I think at the new year, but I see if we do have a correction, I see dot going back to the late fours, early fives. I see quant going back to the mid to early 90s, and I see Bitcoin and Ethereum going back down to like the mid 30. Bitcoin will probably correct to like 35, 33 to 35K. That's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin if we do have a correction. 33 to 35. I don't think we're going to go back to 27,000. That's just unlikely at this point.
Well, the only thing that can make it go down that low to a 50% correction would be if we start getting some hardcore regulation in from the government, which still is a possibility with the new year election cycle. People wanting to crack down and show politicians wanting to crack down and show, hey, we're strong. We're determined. We're going to get this done. And even though they're not going to get anything done, it's going to take decades for any legislation really to pass through crypto. I see a correction. I see the correction happening really in mid January. We're pretty much done with all the crypto companies going bust, like all the exchanges, all the all the scams kind of got washed out with the downturn. Even though there's still probably new ones coming about, but they basically the shakeout in crypto has happened and is done. So now what we have going forward, is just kind of the market saying, well, what do we do now? And what's going to happen is the quiet and the lull that's going to come in January is going to cause it to correct down to about 15-20% as people start, one, selling off to pay for their taxes on crypto. Two, everyone that's been trading crypto over the past year has got to pay their taxes. So they're going to pay their taxes too as well. And then you just have people saying, hey, I'm up from the relief rally. Let me just cash out my profits now because it doesn't look like it's going to go any higher. And then that's going to cause like a sharp decline, maybe 7 to 10%. But then with no news in crypto generally leads to no news is bad news for crypto, and then it goes down a little bit more. So we might see 15 to 20%. And I'm kind of expecting to see Bitcoin like high 30s, Ethereum kind of 1900 range. I'm hoping for quant to hit back down to 80, although we'll probably see like 95, 99, something like that.
It was in the $80 range for almost a solid month, from like late
Yeah.
September to October. It was sitting in that range for a little bit. So shout out to everybody who scooped up quant in the $80 range. That was a
Yeah.
fantastic range to buy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just need 20 more. I need 20 more to go, and I'm at 100. And once I hit that 100 QNT, I'm gonna stop buying quant. I'm gonna sit on what I have, and I'm just gonna buy a shit ton of chain link, and I'm gonna mix it up with a little bit of polka dot as well. I'm gonna buy both dot and chain link. Try to get up to 2,000 dot. Try to get up to like 400, 500 chain link. So I'll have like 4 to 500 chain link, like 1,400 dot, and like 100 quant by this time next year.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. My crypto bags are already pretty much well stacked. I don't have to do much more. But as you guys know, if you've been following the business lives I do on Patreon for you guys for the business sector, like I'm going to be focusing heavily on real estate the next year. I'll be still investing when it makes sense into crypto when I see some nice dips, dollar
When you
cost
see those good buys, yeah.
yeah, but I'm not going to be doing what I was doing this year and last year, which was like every week I was just putting in money, and every time, and if we had a dip, I put in more, because like I said, 2022 is probably the best year to just dollar cost average. Period. This year was still
2022
pretty good. No, go ahead.
2022 was the scariest year of the bear market because we had the FTX collapse, we had the Luna collapse. Have you made it through, man? 2022, I can't believe. First of all, I can't believe that was almost 2 years ago. Second of all, That was the scariest time to be in crypto. So much shit happened in 2022. Like, can't believe we all got through it, but 2022 was crazy.
Yes.
2022 was also an opportunity, though.
Oh yeah, we were buying like it was just crazy because like quant during that time was $55 at one point.
Yeah, and not only that, Ethereum went down to like 700. And no, it went down to like 850. You
Yep.
you could have scooped up some ETH. I kept telling people, I keep telling people like June was the bottom. June of 2022 was the bottom for Ethereum and alts. November of 2022 was the bottom for Bitcoin because in June 2022, Bitcoin didn't bottom out to 16,000 just yet. It
No.
took until November. But if you bought ETH and alts in November of 2022, if you bought Ethereum at 850 and you bought Quant at $45, you're up a lot right now.
Oh yeah.
Just from those two
Absolutely.
alone.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because people like that was when everybody was running from crypto, and it goes to show you when people run out, usually it's a good sign to start running in as a market whole. Not like saying, "Oh, like people are running out of this crypto, let me go buy in." No, individually, that's not a good idea. But market wise, when everybody's selling and cashing out of the market, that's a good time to come in the companies you see as valuable to buy in. And that holds true for
Man,
crypto or stocks. And it's like if you were buying stocks all last year too, and this year, like I'm up tremendously on it. My stock portfolio is up like now like 28%. 28% from the beginning of this year. And I think it's up about 39% from the beginning of 2022. So that goes to show you how much has happened in 2 years if you just kept buying and buying and buying. And all that gains really happened in the last like 3 months because it's just been slowly climbing up on the market. And I think let me take a look at my Microsoft holding because I think Microsoft it has been killing it lately. Yeah, it's up 5%. It's even up 5% on the day, which is astounding for a stock. But I'm sorry, $5 on it is 1.4%. But if we go back and we look at it for the last 3 months, I mean, look at this nice chart here, going down to steadily rising, and they're increasing their dividends. The dividend yield is increased, or the value is increasing of it. So, like, if you've been holding Microsoft for the last 2 years, you would have made some serious gains on it. Because let's take a look at the 3 year chart here. So if you're holding back in, like, you can see here back in like September of 2022, that's when the stock market did its nice dip. It lost 33% of its value, and now we're back up to a new all-time high. Like this, now's the time where we're going to be going up. We got the relief rally going up. Things are going to come down. You got a dollar cost average in for the next 6 to 12 months, and then it's going to start really rising again. I have a feeling beginning of 2025, things will really rally. Now, if we get it, now this also, we got, even though we're not a political channel, you also got to take heed to the election cycle, the 2024 election, because depending on how that goes, can really affect the markets as well. So, if the markets respond favorably, if we get Joe Biden in and things are okay, we'll have an okay market cycle. Now, if we get if an entirely different person gets in, doesn't matter who it is, and they're really got some good policies to turn around the economy and everything, what's going to happen is the market's going to respond very favorably. We also have the Feds reducing interest rates for the next 6 quarters. That hopefully getting back down. They're aiming to get back down to 4%. I just it is going to be very interesting to see where we're going in it, but we're either way we're going to have a good market cycle in 2025. I just think if we don't have Biden, we'll have a phenomenal market as long as the economy is doing well, gas prices remain low, food, like your cost of living starts going down. And of course, we're also going to have in 2024 the rent bubble. So, not a lot of people are talking about it. And it's just a part where you got a lot of these people who went into business or land or real estate property management companies that are built up heavily on properties because now there's too many. There's going to be too many rental properties, and the properties are going to start going down in price. I'd probably see like a 38 to 40% reduction in rental prices, which is going to drive the economy up, but also drive liquidation of rental properties down. So we're going to get hit with a huge foreclosure in the commercial real estate sector. And that, of course, is going to affect crypto because anytime there's any bad news, the damn crypto market just takes a dive because everybody thinks everything is correlated. But we're at the point now where the crypto market is parabolic to its own thing. So it's starting to react in its own ways separate from the stock market. So I just want you guys to understand that. So when you do make your profits in crypto, just remember that you can't be saying crypto is my only game plan. If you make money in crypto, you got to take it out. You got to look to see if you can make money anywhere else, because that's the key to building your wealth in your portfolio is diversifying your income once you make a significant profit off of your main investment. But that's all I got. That's all I got to say about that. Is like I can't really say any more than that because it's really just a hunch at this point whether or not we're going to see a correction and when the true bull cycle is going to happen. But my gut and instincts keep saying early to mid 2025 is when we're going to have the bull cycle start. We're still going to see some ups and downs throughout 2024. We're going to be trading sideways for a while. There. I do apologize, guys. Just gotta check on something real quick here. But I do. I can't. I just can't see it starting next year for the bull run. Okay. Sorry about that. I was just getting a voicemail.
I'm seeing a lot of people try to push the narrative that the bull market will start in 2024, though, and I wildly disagree.
Yeah, whenever you get too much euphoria in one area, you're gonna see it go opposite. So when people say, "Oh," when everybody is saying it's great, is when it's gonna go backwards. Just
when everybody's saying bad, you need to buy in.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's crazy because 2022 was such a fearful year, yet that was the year with so much opportunity. Yet that had the most fear in it. There's always opportunity and fear.
Yeah, it's just pretty interesting because it's weird how human psychology works on that front because you don't, how should I put it? It's like humans are just weird in that sense. Like we as a individual we can react in our own different way, but somehow collectively we all operate in a mass. It's very unique. But when everybody starts saying it's bad, all of a sudden everybody gets fearful, and then they move away. But when everyone says it's getting good, they come in, and there's euphoria, and then it keeps rising, and then all of a sudden they go back, and then of course the market pulls back and corrects, and then people are like, "Well, what happened?" And
that's when people scream manipulation, when in reality, that's just how human psychology goes.
Yeah, it's just the ebb and flow of the markets. Like And you got to think of human behavior as the moon to the markets. Just like the moon is to the oceans and the tides, human behavior is the moon to all markets and finance. Because we're as human behavior goes through its cycles, so does the markets, and it kind of follows its cycles follows the pattern of human behavior. So that's why I say like these people that are trying to predict everything, and they're saying like it's going to happen by this date. You can't make a definitive date. Just like I said, like I see the value, but I can only guess when it's going to happen. Just like with all these XRPers, we're coming pretty close to. We're halfway through December, and XRP is nowhere near $10, and everybody was calling for it to be in $10 in December.
Oh
So
yeah, you have
it's
YouTube
like,
channels literally on XRP conspiracy theories, like talking about like There's this one channel, I forgot the name of it, but it would do like decoding messages and stuff, decoding the dates of when it's supposed to moon and stuff. It's so ridiculous. I mean, it gets views, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's like for crypto, you can only see the value, but you can only just DCA and just hold. You can see it, but you can't like really say when it's going to move. But all I know is in 2025, we're going to have a new president, and things are definitely going to be different. Whether it's good or bad, it's like it's not going to stay the same as it is now.
yeah, and whoever sits in that seat, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who sits in that seat. You have to invest accordingly and change your plan, especially if you're trying to invest on your own instead of investing in funds. But I will say next year and even 2025 is going to be a good time for real estate because you don't know I'm actually thinking about going to the auction for a commercial property. It was in front of an apartment complex I always drove by, and the land is going to auction. It went into foreclosure. So, and it's right on 412. It's prime. I'm not willing to spend a lot for land, but it's on a prime lot and location, good for a strip mall. But building a strip mall right now, not a good idea. But buying
No.
that land and holding it for maybe 5 years and then building a strip mall is very key because in Arkansas, the taxes on that land is like $200 or $300 a year. It's not that much. So you can sit there and hold. The equity will come back to it. You put a strip mall in there, a little shopping center, and they're also building more rental properties out there, just more and more and more and more and more and more. It's like it's nonstop. Eventually, that bubble's going to burst.
Oh yeah.
Just like I'm seeing like there's a bubble in car washes of all things, car washes, because like there's a car wash on every corner. Eventually, the bubble's going to pop. That's where we saw like I think we went through this car wash cycle like in 2006. So that's also not a good sign either because I remember in 2006 and 7 we were built like people were building a record number of car washes. Like I don't know if Cody, if you've ever drove around like Arkansas and
I'd see them everywhere.
yeah, not just the new ones, but if you drive out to the boonies, like the real rural areas of Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Oklahoma, you see all these old car washes and stuff like self washes and things like that. Those are literally from the last economic boom. Actually, some of them are even older. They're from the 1993 real estate collapse. What happens is car washes tend to be a signal. When you start seeing too many car washes, that's usually a signal that the economy is about to go back down. And that also kind of worries me. So to me, that also says we haven't hit the bottom of this recession yet. We've been in a recession for the last year and a half. Now we haven't hit the actual true bottom of it because they're still building these car washes. And whenever we start building a lot of car washes, it's like a year, 2 years down the road, all of a sudden we have a bad economic time. So, I mean, this could be the one time that it doesn't speak true that we're going to have that type of market, we're not going to have we might not have a crash. It's just speculation based off of a trend I'm putting together, which, of course, as you know, human psychology, we tend to find trends. We tend to want to look for trends. That's part of our evolutionary makeup. So I'm just seeing it because of that, or I'm just noticing it every time because I think we had it in the early 80s. Like there's like after the oil crisis, self car washes became a thing. Then it got really big in the late 80s, early 90s, right before the real estate crash. And then in 2006 and 7, they were a real big thing before the 2008 crash. So now they're all over the place again, and instead of occupying the old ones and refurbishing them, they are building brand new ones, and that's not a good sign. And like I said, with the cost of inflation, fuel, energy, even water filtration and doing all that equipment, it's going to be massively expensive, and I just can't see you operating a car wash with $10 a month subscription fees. It'd just be impossible, especially if
Oh
you're going
yeah.
to set one up like one up, and then 2 miles down the road, you set up another, and you have competition. So you just got because they're like no one's building those out of cash. They're building them off of financing, which means banks are going to go under, and there's a lot of local banks that are financing those, which is going to be unfortunate. But that's another strong point, and I really, really hope that isn't the case. But you never know.
You never know exactly. You can only just speak on trends and how things have gone in the past versus how things have gone now. You can't, you just invest accordingly, and whatever happens, happens. That's the part of being in DCA. You're here for all the lows, just like how you're here for all the highs, and you enjoy the highs, you enjoy the lows too. And yes, I say enjoy because the lows should be enjoyed. Like you should buy them. Like Bitcoin is 16K. Even I was thinking it was going to go to 8,000. I was thinking it was going to go under 10,000 when that happened. Shit, everybody was scared, but in reality, that was the perfect time because we're never going to see that again. Even when we go through a tremendous bull market and Bitcoin goes to 150K, we'll probably correct down to like 60, 70, 50, but we'll never see 16,000 again.
No, we'll never.
Never.
16,000 will never happen
It's
again.
long gone.
Like the 2020 era of prices, that's over with. Well, even after this next bull run, we'll never see those prices again.
Yeah,
And that's like the chart's going to go up, down a little bit, up again, down a little bit. Like that's just how markets go. Stock market did the same thing over the last 100 years. Up, then we had a crash, up, crash, up. And even when people say, "Oh, the economy," like even 2008 crash didn't even come, even though it's a huge crash, didn't even come close to the prices of the last crash. So that goes to show you, like, even with the crashes, we're still on an upwards trajectory.
exactly.
And even with bankruptcies, and even I think even all the business bankruptcies are pretty much done. However, layoffs are still rolling out. And Walmart's about ready to lay off a good amount of people. They're just not announcing it. Amazon laid off 8,000 drivers very quietly. Not a lot of people knew about that. They're restructuring, reorganizing. I'm telling you, companies are just cutting. And now everybody that's been saying we deserve $25 an hour, blah blah blah, all that talk's going out the window. All of a sudden, it's like, screw you guys, I'm saving myself. And like I said, you the worker doesn't have the power. You really don't. Who has the power is the consumer. I said even 3 years ago, if you're going to get a company to change wages, you have to hurt their pockets, not demand more wages. And what happened was even though they wanted Amazon, Walmart, all these places to pay better, they still shopped with them. So you didn't give them a consequence for them not appealing to your demand. If you say, "Hey, I want to make more. I want people to earn a reasonable living. So I'm not going to buy your product until you provide those for your workers. That would be a very sensible thing
But
to
see,
say.
that's not happening. You still have people going on Amazon. You still, because I mean, that's their major day to day spending. You know, a lot of people they have subscriptions, and that's why OnlyFans. You know, that's another topic. But OnlyFans is going to go to G rated content eventually because they realize that mothers, you know, they'll subscribe to like TV shows and the extra type content. You know, on OnlyFans and subscription based services. Like subscription based services are going to be huge, and we're going to see less like consumer goods. Like for example, malls. I don't see malls being that strong. I mean, malls have been a dying trend. Period, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But
Well, yeah, when social media came out, malls just died. Like I
yeah,
like when I was Cody's age, and even younger in 16s, like the mall was the it spot. Like you went to the mall, you went into all the stores, you used to go to electronics like EB Games, which is now GameStop. But you used to go to EB Games and they'd have the free PlayStation, like the PlayStation, the Nintendo 64, and back then we had the Sega Dreamcast. That's just how old I am. And you can go there and play for free and play the demo games and all that stuff and any of the new games that came out. You could go over to Sam Goody, listen to all the new albums from all the artists and stuff like that before you bought them. So it was definitely a different time. Like that literally was like when you were young, that literally was where you went because there's really nothing else to do unless if you were close to like the beach or like some destination place. Like I was on I was close to the beach, so it's like maybe a 45-minute drive when you're 18 to go to the beach, go to the boardwalk, have fun at the boardwalk. But then when social media came around, I don't know, you guys just stopped all that. So we have Crypto Dream in the house. Welcome in, buddy. No worries. That's no worries, but you got to take care of your family. No, definitely, Crypto Dream is one of our longtime supporters. Really appreciate him and helping us. So hopefully, he can help everybody come to the new TikTok channel that have Simply Investing 60 as we rebuild back to greatness because we were getting ready to break out, but then I think dissenting people knocked out that channel or
ooh,
or speeding scammed. Yeah,
I'm
I
seeing
think
the
they're.
number. I'm seeing the number of quant holders go up. Quant's about to hit 151,000 holders.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to hit 100. It's going to hit higher than that because I think people
I
are
see it
starting to.
hitting 300K holders next bull run. I see it doubling.
Yeah, let me pull up Quant over here.
I'm still holding a good bag, man. I'm at 80 pretty much. I'm just 20 away from my goal, and and that's not even my only bag. Like I hold other projects.
Yeah, you definitely put a huge stake in the Quant. I think. Let me pull up my holdings here. I gotta open that file there. Open that up. Okay, here we go. I think Quant is still 13% of my total crypto holdings. I'm having it's getting harder to make it 15% because as right now it's
Exchanges are running low on quant. They really
yeah.
are.
Oh yeah. If a fun fact for you guys, if you want to arbitrage quant, um, I noticed that once again, crypto.com always has the highest prices on quant. So you can buy from like Uphold, which has the lowest, and then sell it to crypto.com at the highest.
Get you some
And it's
arbitrage.
like I think it was like 1 a.m. in the morning. Like it was like $3 or $4 different. Like it was $3 or $4 higher than what it was on crypto.com for like a good hour. It was really weird. So, but those are the type of things if you want to trade arbitrage, it's not a lot of money and a lot of your profits get eaten up by fees, but you do make profit. Just remember, it's a 24/7 game and you got to be watching all the freaking time. So, and it's not something you can do during normal daytime hours. The arbitrage seems to happen late at night. So just be mindful of that. But overall, quant is a good is a good thing just to hold long term. I'm looking to have this in my portfolio probably like I'm holding Microsoft and Apple my stocks just for a long freaking time. There's just no reason to get rid
10
of
years, Quant could, pull another Bitcoin price with how the circulating supply is low.
it. And on top of everything else, it could. I mean, even if it only gets to 10,000 in 10 years, I mean that's a significant run up from what you're having prices at now. Even if
I
it
have
gets to
over a million in Quant if it hit that point. If Quant hits $10,000, I'd have like 1.2 million sitting in there. And it's possible it could, but not
very
anytime
possible.
soon.
I wouldn't say in the next year, but it's very possible in the next 10 years, especially with how the crypto markets are. The bottom is getting higher and the highs are always going to be hitting new highs. But I still say this next upcoming bull run is going to be the best cycle for crypto. After that, we'll still have nice bull markets, but you're not going to have the same gains as this market's going to deliver.
It's
So
funny because the guy from Coin Bureau said the same thing.
yeah, it's like, and it's not like saying like crypto's going to be gone after it. It's just that it's going to become like the stock market where you're going to get more steady returns off of it. It's going to be volatile, but it's going to be about as volatile as the currency market, not this type of volatility. This volatility is not normal. It's only seen in the very beginning of markets, such as like the stock market back in the mid 1800s when that formed was like this. It just was like up, down, left, right all the time. And then after 100 years and market advancements, economies changing, all of a sudden the values started staying steady and ups and downs weren't as big swings. It would take several years for the stock market to plummet 50, 60%. Most of the times you'd see like a 1 or 2% correction, 5% correction, 10% was a market crash. And crypto's kind of getting to that point where even quant's not fluctuate. Like quant's one of those examples. It doesn't fluctuate like everything else. So it's kind of staying stable. Because like we're kind of coming back to where it was this time last year. And like I said, it just spikes up and goes down. However, we're going to see a little bit of a reverse, but we're not going to see like this low. We're probably going to see it right around here in the 90s. And then we'll have this another nice spike again. I wish I could see it on a 2-year period, but here's that little spike that I was talking about before. Here it is. And like you see, it just spiked up again. But we're not going to try and predict that. It's just going to be what it's going to be. I see we got some action in the Discord there. Unfortunately, for some reason, my Discord's not working.
Yeah, that's Aiden. Me and him are kind of the same way. We're both kind of pretty bearish. We're both kind of bearish right now. We both think that the markets will correct eventually, probably mid to early 30Ks.
Yeah. Yep. I think 35 is I think 35K Bitcoin is aggressive. I'm thinking more like 39 for a correction in Bitcoin. But some alts might take a hit, like Solana might see a 20% dip, 30% dip because a lot of its
ADA as
value
well.
is hype. What happened? I'm sorry.
Cardano as well.
Yeah, those prices might correct, but Cardano actually has a lot more value than Solana being built into it. So I think Solana is going to have a harder crash. Man, it's crazy. It's just on a terror.
Crazy because Solana was at $14 a year ago. It's at 75
Yep.
fucking dollars. Go on the year. What's that percentage?
439% on the year.
You're up 430% on your money if you bought Solana a year ago, which is crazy because I wasn't buying Solana
No, I wasn't either. I thought it was dead with all the stuff.
with FTX and all that. Yeah, it's up 430%.
Yep. Shout out to Crypto Dream. I expected a sell off before Christmas, but when the last Fed meeting, actually the Feds are reversing. They're going to start cooling off their rate increases. So we're going to see a drop in the rates, which is going to spark. We're not going to spark a sell off. What's going to happen is going to spark people buying in again. However, I think it's more prudent that they keep raising, because I'm a firm believer that, like I said, I was telling people way back in the day with 2008 that after 2008 happened and we did fix everything, it felt like maybe we should just let the band, like, instead of, it felt like like the American economy got knifed in the jugular, and we came up to it and said, here's a Barney Band-Aid. And that Barney Band-Aid's been holding, and it's but the vein is pulsating. It's like any minute it's gonna rupture. And it seems like now we're like, no, we're putting a hand on that vein and trying to hold it off as long as possible, instead of just saying, hey, just pull it off, let it rupture out, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And after that, we'll have a new economy. So, but unfortunately, the Fed doesn't see it that way. I think they should continue rate hiking for the next couple years, because you got to curb all the money that was outputted out into the system. So you got to pull at least half of it back. No, more than half of it. Like, you got to. I think there's $28 trillion in circulation. So we got to pull it all the way down to $20 trillion in circulation to have 1990 prices again.
Yeah, it's
We got to
crazy.
pull that back. We
Five
got to pull
thousand
it back.
dollars. $5,000 in 1970 has the purchasing power is equivalent to the purchasing power of $39,000 today. 5,000 in 1970 is what $39,000 buys you today.
Oh yeah, and I remember, I was making real good money in 2002. I was making $80,000 a year, working as a gas station manager, and I think my car payment, my rent payment, my insurance, my car insurance, my renter's insurance at the time, and well, it's the gas and my credit cards could all be paid with one paycheck, and then the other three paychecks I was paid weekly I was able to save it, which is crazy. I was saving so much money and investing so much at the time. Um, and it's crazy to see how it is, because even my old condo that I had in New Jersey, I bought for $120,000.
Yeah, and that was not out of the ordinary during that time
No,
either. That
and
was
now
not out in the ordinary.
and now that same condo sells for like $600,000. My
Almost a
exact
whole meal ticket.
Yep, my exact condo is now on the market for $640,000. It was a
Which is
two
crazy.
bedroom, like a 1,200 square foot condo with a deed for a detached garage. Like, it had one little garage unit that they had downstairs that wasn't attached to your condo.
Hey, so I have an idea, for us in the next bull market. If we get this bull market in 2025, we should start a series of what you should do with your profit. So say if you come up on, like, I don't know, 100, 200, $300,000 from crypto, like, we should kind of make a fun, like, we're not financial advisors, but at the same time, we should talk about other investing avenues with what you have in crypto. Like, you make a good amount in crypto, that's great. But you also don't want to spend it all like you won the lottery, or
Oh,
like not
absolutely.
plan it well.
Absolutely. And I'm also, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a licensed broker with the Series 7. So all I did was trade. Like, I didn't really advise people on their finances. I could only say, hey, you wanted me to buy Microsoft, I would get Microsoft at the best market price available, and I would acquire to whatever position you wanted to, and then hand you over your shares. That's what I did. Now, both a broker and a certified financial advisor, both we have very similar training paths. It's just that we're not responsible. Like a lot of times people mistake a broker for being in your best financial interest when a broker doesn't really care. They just want their commission and will trade whatever you want to trade, sell whatever you want to sell. Where a financial advisor will sit you down and say, hey, this is the game plan. Where do you want to be? Okay, then this is what we need to do to get to where you want to be by this time. So that's it. And a financial advisor can educate you more on financial products, because there's a lot of financial products I can't give you an answer on, because all I did was trade and buy and sell securities. So I could tell you all of that side of the industry, but I can't tell you that side. But I will say, like, protecting profits is one thing that you definitely should learn how to do in investing in anything. And I've definitely seen a lot of people, even when there was no crypto and it was just the stock market, people were going to the moon on the stock market. They just weren't calling it that at that time. And people would invest in some terrible ideas and everything. I remember the fund I was working for that was basically sponsored by Bank of America, had invested. The total fund was like $10 billion at the time. And we invested $500 million into this Chinese company. Myself and another broker, we went over to see the assets, and it was a fake company. So like that $5 million just $500 million just went vanished. And that was the start of the financial crisis. So it was very crazy at that time. And the same behavior patterns of people who do not protect their profits kind of are in crypto too. So as soon as you make money, cash out. You make life-changing money, it's time to cash out. It's like, don't sit here and say I'm not cashing out until I make $100 million. No, you did not put in enough money to earn $100 million. What you did put in enough money in is to earn maybe $50, $80, $100,000, maybe even $500,000, depending on it. Got some people like George on our Patreon, who's got almost $250,000 in crypto investments. He will be fine. He will probably end up with $5 or $6 million with the next bull run. Cash out, move into a different asset. I recommend real estate because you can get your cash flow back and then reinvest into the markets again.
Exactly. Like next bull run, I should be seeing about 200 to 3. So what he has as initial investment, I should be seeing. But you got to remember, he's probably older than me. I'm 23.
Yeah, he's 50, and
Yes.
they make both him and his wife make $9,000 each
Well,
a week.
if he's 50, then
So
that makes a lot of sense.
yes. So now they're in a great position. They have no debt. They paid off their 2 homes. They paid off their kids' college. So they are a cash family. So they're in the perfect situation where they can blitzkrieg into an investment and then cash out and then stabilize. But they also, with a little bit of my tutelage there, they are preparing to, they're making up all the ground they missed for the last 30 years in 5 years, and then they're going to stabilize to a slow, safe, getting interest payments. Because once you hit about 5 million, there's interest-based only products that you can get that can give you like a return of 80, 90 to $100,000 a year, which can pay for most of your living expenses along with Social Security and everything else. So that's what their game plan is. But if you're younger, like myself, or in the beginning of your adult years, like Cody, this is a perfect time. Get in, cash out, get that real estate portfolio going, then come back to crypto and stocks. Because your real estate is going to support everything. Because no matter what people say, people always need a roof over their head. So there's always going to be a renter. There always will be. There always will be. Especially nowadays with a lot of Gen Zers messing up their credit. They're not even, a house is not even in the winds for them anymore. They have to rent for the rest of their life. Some of these, like I saw one girl on TikTok post. She's coming out. She just graduated college with $120,000 in debt, And what I realized why how these people are getting that much in debt is that they are constantly like I didn't know that I thought they did away with this in the student loan program. But when I went to student loans, you can go to student loans, get the loans that you need. You get what you thought you needed, even to cover your expenses like your car, your food and everything. You can cash they can give you up to like $15,000, $20,000, sometimes $40,000 extra on the loan. But what these young Gen Zers are doing, they're taking that money out, they're taking all that money out and they're spending it. And then you don't realize that you got to pay that crap back at like 15% interest. And now that you've jacked up the loan to like $150,000, there's no way you're going to be able to pay that back under 15% interest. Let me see if I can find a loan calculator here, because that is absolutely absurd. That I saw that, and like I'm constantly getting in the feed on TikTok and YouTube, even Facebook, a lot of young people, I'd say young millennials and younger, talking about they're never going to have a life without debt. But it's like you guys caused this in the first place. There's loan payment calculator. So I want to I want to show you guys exactly what, like, let me share this here. So it's like you have 150,000. They give you 25 years to pay it off, really, to pay off your student loans. And you got a 15% interest rate, right? So let me show you how much it's going to take. So look at that. You're getting hit with year one, $22,000 in interest alone off of what you loan. Like look at the principal, look at the payments you're going to have to be making. Your payments are going to be ridiculous off of this. This is what I borrowed. And I borrowed a lot because I went to a good school. I had 30 years to pay it off, but I had 0.01% interest. That's what I had. I was able to pay this sucker off in 3 years. Like it's insane. As you see here, look, your monthly payment $695. Yep, that's about right. I was paying $1,200 every month, and then I think at the end of the year I would dump like $20,000-$30,000 out of my savings into that and pay that sucker off. But let's go back to the 150. At 25 years is a typical loan, and it's at 15% interest rate right now. Look at that. This is a goddamn mortgage. $1,921.25. You will never be able to pay that off and live at the same goddamn time. There's just there's just no way that you could ever pay this off. There's no way. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this money isn't actually going to student loans either, because a lot of young people are cashing that out and they're going to buy cars. It's going to buy random consumer goods and stuff like that. I didn't even know you could have that. I had an ex from one of my college days that I found out that she was doing this crap. Well, not college. I was like 25 at the time. She was in college. Oh, I'm sorry there. Oh, there you go. I'll shout you out there. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get into rants and I don't see your guys' messages. Welcome in, buddy. Glad to have you in here. Hope you guys, like and follow the stream so we can get more people in here. As you guys know, anyone who's coming in from or just like swinging by from our old TikTok page, just letting you know that got banned. So I got a new TikTok and I'm trying to get that back up and running. It's just not getting there as fast as it did the first time. Excuse me. But no, it's like I can shout you guys out. Just keep in mind sometimes like I'm not paying attention because I'm too focused on our topic there. So I do apologize for that, but really appreciate you in there. I was saying like these guys are putting in there. Now, keep in mind this is apparently the average And this is the average for being an attorney. Like if you're going to attorney, so these attorneys are paying this much money in here. So and this is where I say, Cody, like this is another bubble that's about ready to pop. It's about ready to pop. Um, and I just don't know when it's going to happen. Shout out to REA. Do you do crypto review? Yeah, we do. We did that early on. We did a lot of it. Um, we just haven't. We just kind of got on this topic about the economy and everything because we talk all things economy, stocks, real estate, business, crypto, finance in general, how to invest for your future, and investing takes all platforms. But if you have a crypto that you want us to take a look at, definitely pin it in the chat and we'll take a look at it. Oh, excuse me. I'm running out of coffee and water to drink. But that's what I'm saying. So you just got to be careful about that because this stuff is like all this stuff, like these little events that can cause a black swan event are still out there. There's still a bunch of them out there because we have the car loans, the student loans, and the rent, and that's enough to cause the bottom out of the recession. That's why I think it's going to be delayed because those are slow occurring products, so they're markets. So what's going to happen is once they start crumbling, we won't feel the effects for 6 to 8 months later. And right now they're crumbling, or they've been crumbling for the last 6 months. So any moment these areas are going to pop. So, and I just think it's going to come back. It's going to hit the crypto market hard. But the good thing is, it'll be a good discount for everything. And the crypto markets tend to rebound faster than stock and real estate markets do. Oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah, and I'll get a because I'm still young, I still don't make that much money, so I'll get a tax return probably in February, and that'll be an extra $1,000 I can dump into like my project of choice. It's probably gonna be chain link because I'm gonna start getting a bag of chain link. Like once I hit 100 quant, which I'm 20 away from, and I'm 100 dot. Oh, I'm at 900 dot. I'm pretty much at 1,000. As soon as I hit that 1,000, I'll just let my dot stake for the next year, and then and this time in 2024, November, December 2024, I'm unstaking my dot. So I'm gonna stake it, take advantage of staking for another year, and then I'll unstake it and just have it ready to sell for 25.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Because
sorry.
there's so much dot in the staking network right now. Like, so much dot is being staked. Like, there's a lot more dot staked than there is. I think there's like 300 million circulating, and there's like 760 million in staking. So that's 760 million dot locked up.
Oh, well, shout out to REA. Sorry about that. I just I haven't been really looking into a mic yet. I do have an idea for getting the studio all set up, but right now I'm just kind of running off my gaming laptop that I also use for work. So didn't really know where this was going with when Cody and I decided to do the streaming platform. So we just kind of started, and I didn't want to invest anything until we started seeing any forward momentum, and it's looking like we're getting a lot of forward momentum because our views are going up, our subscribers are going up slowly. So it's going to be about time for us to invest in actual equipment and things like that. And hopefully next year, Cody and I, if everything goes the way we think it's going to go, we'll have a nice new studio and we'll have an actual podcast session where we bring on guests and things like that. So, and hopefully I have a little bit more time because my businesses are busy all the time. But yeah, we're going to take a look at Gari token per REA's request. So I do apologize. I hope my mic is working a little better. I hope it sounds a little better. But looking at Gar token, from what it says, um, is a Solana based token in India with 100+ million downloads for a live streaming platform, and you're looking at to pump. So as always, if we take a look at the charts, we'll take a look at the all charts. Looks like it was released early this year and kind of had some wild activity, and then followed by this really big drop. And that's kind of disconcerting to me because it's like a pretty quick drop. Let me try to pull it up over here because I want to see if did this happen in one day. And it looked like it happened in like a couple days. Yeah, so you have 2 days. Happened in 2 days. That's not a good sign for me. But there could be two things. Either it was pumped and dumped, or they released the rest of the tokens from the ICO and they released the full value and it just dropped precipitously. So it's a little hard to say at the moment. But if you're looking at the year chart, it's looking like it's going up. If we pull up the log, why is that not clicking for me? Okay. That's just, yeah, I see where you're thinking there's potential, but to me, their REA, like this drop is very disconcerting, and we haven't had any significant action afterwards. But let's take a look at the trade volume.
Yeah.
So we're trading at 1.4 million with a market cap of 10.6 million. So it's trading roughly a little over 10% of the volume. Has about 18K in followers. Market the has 995 million in supply. Well, let's take a look at the white paper. That usually kind of says it all when you take a look at the white paper. Why is this zoomed in? Let me try to. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. Well, there's definitely a lot of buzzwords flowing around in this from what I can skim. I was actually thinking about doing a deep dive on the token for a video, so this one might be it for you guys. But I get the premise of it, but I'll have to do a deep dive. Right now, I'm gonna be very, 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 very cautious of it because of that dip. Um, like if anything, I'd probably put like very small amounts in, I consider it like a lottery shot. I put 5% in, and then that, or not 5, like $500 in, and that's it. I wouldn't want to put too much into this right away. Okay, I got you. So the India banned TikTok and Gar users increased suddenly this year. Well, that definitely has a use case for it. My concerning is it looks like we got some manipulation there in the beginning, but it's also hard to say because I would have to do a real deep dive on it because it might have been they just released more coins that year to cover demand for it in their ecosystem, and then of course it leveled out the price. But but if we're talking about only 100 million downloads in a country that has a population of 2.2 billion people, that's not a lot. I mean, let me pull out my calculator here. I mean, that's a very small percentage. Yeah, we're looking at 0.5% of the population. I mean, 100 million is a lot of downloads. However, in a country that has 2.3 billion people, that's insignificant. Now, if that was a US based company, and you said you had 100 million downloads, that'd be phenomenal. Um, I think people forget the ratio of population when we're using products like this. So, but it still has potential because if it's running the same as TikTok and TikTok is banned, people will naturally find a replacement for it. So they'll funnel into things like that. And it does have potential. I still have to do a deep dive. I can't give you a recommendation of whether or not I would get into it. It would just be something I would watch. Oh, 1.4. I'm sorry. I must be thinking. I must have missed something there. I could have swore they were like, because it was like 2.6, 2.3 billion there, 1.8 billion with China, and then the rest was kind of spread out over the rest of the world. Because we're at about 8 billion, and there's not that many people in United States, Canada, and Europe. At their website, sure, we can. Let's take a look at their website. Website here. Let's take a look here. Oh, they're on crypto.com. I like that. Cool. And I really wish Kraken would be open up to the U.S., but given our Gary Gensler, it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, so as of what they're showing here, 100+ million downloads on the Play Store, but overall 200+ million downloads. Period. Now, I don't think they're on the Apple Store. Let me check here. Chingari. Let's actually check. Okay, yeah, they are. They are on the Apple Store, so that brings us some good content, good opportunity there. Because if they're on Apple products, most likely they're gonna have access to more people than expected. The thing is that compared to some of their competitors, well, here's the thing: it's being lumped in with X-rated apps when you look at it on the Apple Store. So that's probably why people aren't finding it. I don't know why they did that because even the pictures don't show that stuff. But if I go over to if I look at it, it only has 217 reviews. So if they can come out if their product division can come out with amping up those reviews, like getting people to review it as much as possible, because 217 reviews isn't going to get you up there, but if they could break 1,000 or maybe even get it over 10,000, they will probably be pitched more by the App Store algorithm. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's starting to look a little better for me. But as far as if it's gonna pump, it's gonna go with the market flow. That's for sure. If it gains value off of this, you might see it get up to because like I think right now it's at it's hovering around 4 cents. And it followed well with the relief rally, but you're probably only going to see it hit a 6-7 cent range and hold there for a while if the value starts coming into that project.
Man, I'm looking at the Polkadot staking rewards calculator, and if you have 2,000 dot, you get 330 dot a year, and that's crazy. And that's why I'm gonna build up another 1,000 dot. I'm just gonna keep staking and compounding. It's just gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I would make sure that you have REA. That if you have liquidity, if then make sure that you are able to liquidate out for your uh for your position here. So you have a 70K portfolio. I would say 5% at the moment. It depends on what else you're holding in there, because it depends because 5% was not really good at doing numbers in my head, but 3,500 into this divided by 0.038. Yeah, I would say that's a good position to hold, because if it doubles its value and goes to 10 cents, you've almost tripled what you put in, but you're maintaining your risk. If you're holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few other blue chips, you can afford to put in between 5 and 10%. But if most of your portfolio is in high risk alts, then um, you're going to have to exit out from one position to get into this, because I'd find it way too risky to do it. And I set my portfolios like I manage other people, like I have been a trader for other people. Like I don't take on more risk. If I have a better risky proposition, I exit out of one, record the loss, and then move that money into another one and into the opportunity I see is better. But it is entirely up to you to make that decision for you. But I would not put in more than 5% into this. But it's definitely a stock crypto to look out for. So I'm gonna put it on my watch list, because I already have ad share, and I was telling I've been saying constantly on the streams, like I'm running my portfolio right now as of this past Sunday reading is sitting at $2.1 million, almost 2.2 million with everything I have. And I have 28% in Bitcoin, and that's even starting to go down because I'm putting more money into Quant Dot, a few others like Chainlink and H bar. Although I think I may cash out my position on Solana, because I made my money off of it, and I've only had 1%. What was it, 1% of my portfolio? Yep, solid 1% of my portfolio is in is in Solana. So not much compared to everything else, but I might cash out the profits and put them into like H bar or probably into Dot. And I might not even. I'm still debating, because I think Dot is even in the long term a better hold position. Um, I might not even unstake it. I might just let it roll for till a couple more bull cycles, because I have a feeling Dot's going to be around for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm so freaking bullish on it. Like I'm gonna build up to like 2,000 eventually. Like I'm at 1,000 pretty much. I'm gonna have 2,000. You know, at one point this 1,000 dot was worth 50 freaking $1,000. Like it's crazy. 2,000 dot was $100,000. Like it's insane.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely was. It's been an insane ride, but I think we're going to call it quits for today. I got to get going and get on with work here, and getting some messages and get out some email stuff, following up with my teams. But I really appreciate you guys joining in. Um, my final thoughts on this is just stay strong. Don't listen to the noise. Make sure you guys do your research into the investments that you pick. Cody, do you have any final thoughts there on this?
Same as you, man. Just ignore all the noise and just DCA into what you believe in, because at the end of the day, it's all noise. You know, they want you to get liquidated. You know, don't make no damn leverages either. Don't make
Yeah.
no longs or shorts. Just buy and hold. You know, that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. I know a lot of people who try to time the market, and in my opinion, DCA is just the way.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and with that said, guys, we're gonna call it a day. We'll be back on Sunday for what's in your portfolio. So thank you guys, and thank you for joining in. Really appreciate you guys liking and supporting the live. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, safe day, and enjoy your holiday season. Thank you, and we'll be checking out. Have a wonderful day.